And with Travis Dodd, the assistant at Bayswater, Travis took over from Chris today, and a sparkling first half performance.
Yeah, look, the boys were, I guess, up against it. We had some issues with fitness with the players during the week, suspensions. We basically came into the game with 10 fit players. A couple of players, Hegney started but didn't train all week. Macca on the bench didn't train all week, but these are the kind of games and results that championships are built on. Grinding out the tough results away from home, working hard and coming away with 3 points.
Yeah, it was obvious that Higgers hadn't trained all week with his absolutely terrible performance today. Possibly man of the match without a doubt.
Yeah, and to be honest, I was talking with Stu Moses before the game, and we were considering not even starting him, but it's just funny how the game works. It was touch and go whether we started him. We didn't want to put his injury at risk further, but you got to have faith in what the players say, and he backed himself in and said that he could get through it, and without a doubt he was fantastic, a game changer for us today.
Yeah, and even we were just noticing up there in the stand, 5 minutes from full time, he was still running around, chasing back, doing an awful lot of defensive work, and that is after basically all the attacking work he did.
Yeah, it was at a monumental game, attacking, going forward. When he plays in that midfield position, and we need him to do a job, he does it. He rolls his sleeves up, and he's not afraid to do that defensive work, which in the end that's what we needed from our players, and for him to show that kind of character, that's great from him. It lifts the boys around him as well to keep going for that that last 5 minutes. Anything could have happened. They scored the second one. Had they nicked the third one, it's a completely different ball game, but the work from Heggers today was outstanding.
Yeah, overall the whole game was a very open affair, wasn't it? Like before you scored, they had hit the post twice and had a goal as well. Were you a little bit worried at that stage, or did you just think they were just settling into it?
No, it's always a concern when you go a goal down. Inglewood started well. We've had a bit of a habit this season of being slow starters, and it was again it happened today. Todd Howarth in the middle of the park, I think, was sharp from the get-go, but you just need that intensity from everyone on the park from the opening whistle. Otherwise, you find yourself a goal down, or 2 goals down. Fortunately, we've got a quality side. Individually, player-wise, I think we've got the best squad in the league. But it's about more than that. It's about the guys coming out at the start of the game and putting the 90 minutes together, starting from the first whistle. And we're lucky we were only a goal down before the boys got their act together and got the ball moving and started to get the upper hand again.
And that second goal, that the first one, well, the one that Murrelunda scored, really was one of the best goals of the season, wasn't it? A lovely move.
Yeah, it's almost like a training ground routine, and it's what we try and get across to the boys, to play the simple balls and look for the easy options, and that certainly was. It started with Todd Howarth and Brian Farrell knocking a ball down and Todd switching it, and then a cutback and a finish. So they are the goals that make coaching worthwhile.
Yes, indeed, but I suppose looking on the downside, a couple of very soft yellow cards given out, which probably may come back to bite you at a later stage in the season. Some a little bit harsh. I certainly thought that they won for the kicking the ball away after the offside decision, because from the way I was looking at it, he kicked the ball as the referee's whistle went. Now, I thought we were always told to play to the referee's whistle. Yeah,
it is frustrating, there's no doubt about it, especially those types of ones. The striker is in a motion of having a shot, and you can't pull your leg out at the last minute. It's just not a natural thing for a striker. Frustrating, those kinds of yellow cards, but it's a little bit of discipline as well, I guess, from our boys with the dissent and that kind of stuff. I mean, it's normal that players get frustrated during games and things get heated, but we need players to be able to control what they say out there, and just leave that stuff for the coaches on the side to deal with as best we can. Hopefully it doesn't come and haunt us at the back end of the season, but I'm sure every club out there is facing those suspensions somewhere along the line.
Yeah, from the sideline, it looked like a handball for that penalty that never was given. What was your thoughts as a coach?
No, look, my initial thought was that it was handball.
I think it was the initial thoughts of about half of the players as well.
That's the frustrating thing, you've got officials out there and you accept that they're going to make mistakes and miss things, but for me it seemed pretty obvious. It's one of those things you just got to keep playing and hope you get another favourable call somewhere down the track.
Well, even for the penalty itself, I think it was the linesman that gave it more so than the central referee.
Yeah, well, it didn't look like he wanted to give it. If not for a few boisterous, appeals on our side of the bench. But yeah, look, sometimes those calls go your way, and then we saw the one later on in the game, which was probably more of a penalty. You didn't get the call. So yeah, look, it probably evens itself up during the season. Luckily the game, it didn't hang in the balance at that stage, so I think that's the worst thing, is that sometimes games can be decided by the man with the whistle, and would rather it be from the players, but today wasn't really that case.
Now, looking ahead, it's a big game next week, the Sunday, so you've got an extra day to, shall we say, recover. You reckon the players are going to need it, because there's a couple of niggles there at the end, definitely?
Yeah, I think it's normal when you get into the back end of the season as well. Players start to get fatigued and start to pick up these knocks, and look, we'll have to monitor probably 3 or 4 players that were complaining of tightness and knocks and that kind of stuff. So look, I think we've got a pretty good setup at the club in terms of what we can do for recoveries and medical facilities, and looking at the squad, we'll have players coming back from suspension, and it's just one of those things. We weigh up the options, see how everyone is during the week, but there's no doubt that the next couple of weeks, or especially next week against Perth, could be season defining for us. It's a massive opportunity for us again to stamp our authority on the league, and now with 8 games to go, an 8-point lead, it'll be difficult to catch us if we can maintain this momentum now.
Yeah, really the 2 big games that's coming up are of course the Perth and the Florida ones. 2 wins in them and basically it is all over, but again they're still, both Perth and Florida are still keeping the pressure on, both with 2 big wins today. Yeah,
look, that's what you want. I guess as a neutral, you want to see a tight league and a tight competition and everyone fighting for spots, and we're the front runners at the moment. I think we deserve to be there with the way we play, the football we play, but it's also up to us to maintain that lead and not give the opportunity for clubs like Florida and Perth to breathe down our neck.
And will Chris be back next week?
God, who knows?
Where was he this week, as a matter of interest?
Sorry?
Where was he this week, as a matter of interest?
I don't know. He was out helping family up north, so I think he'll be back. He's got, if nothing else, he's got to get back for his regular job as well. So I think the club's in safe hands.
There's no doubt about that. And I think this is the second game against Inglewood he's missed, and he missed the one early on. I don't think he was coached early on.
No, he did. I think maybe it was a chance for me to me and Stewie and that to get redemption, because of the draw last time. It's the only blemish on the scorecard this year, so it's good to come here and get the result, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is. It's a tough ground to get away with 3 points from, and you've done very well. Thanks a million, Travis, for talking to us after the game.
No worries, pleasure.
Cheers, mate.